Hi guys, welcome back to Learning English and Literature. In this video, I will show you the difference between an informal letter and a formal letter, and I'll also guide you on how to write formal letter. Before I begin, please hit the subscribe button and let's reach a wider audience. An informal letter is written to your friend, family, or relation. An informal letter is written to somebody you know, somebody you are closely related to by blood or by environment. By blood can be your family, by environment can be your friend or your neighbor. A formal letter is written to an office, not to a person. When writing an informal letter, you address it to a person, the person's name. But when writing a formal letter, you address it to an office, the person's title. For example, in informal letter, you can address it to Mr. Ade, Mr. James, Mr. Babs, Mr. Kudus. But when writing a formal letter, you address it to the title, Mr. President, the Chairman, the Governor, His Royal Highness. You see, those are titles, not their personal names. So now you know the difference. Informal letter has one address. Formal letters have two addresses. You use dear dad and dear mom when writing informal letters. But when writing a formal letter, you use the title, dear sir, dear madam, or any other official title. When writing an informal letter, there is no use of titles. But when writing a formal letter, you need to write a title which contains everything you want to talk about in the letter. When writing informal letters, you can use contractions, cans, lets, but when writing formal letters, you do not use contractions. So instead of using can't, you use cannot. Instead of using let's, you use let us. When writing informal letters, you can use slangs like what's up. But when writing formal letters, you dare not use slangs, okay? So for informal letters, you can use what's up. But for formal letters, you use something similar. I hope this letter finds you well. The subscription for formal letters and informal letters are quite different. For informal letters, you can use yours sincerely, yours truly, yours affectionately. But for formal letters, you strictly use yours faithfully. When writing an informal letter, there is no need for a signature. But when writing a formal letter, you must append your signature. When writing an informal letter, use one name at the subscription. It can even be your sobriquet, it can be your nickname. But when writing a formal letter, you must use your full name. Now, let me guide you on how to write a formal letter while extended. You will be asked to write not less than 450 words. You'll also be given 50 minutes on this section. Now, take a look at question 3. Write a letter to the chairman of your school's board of governors on the need for a library in your school, requesting him to build and equip one for your school. Now, this is the question. The first thing you do is to write your own address, the sender's address on the right. You can watch the video, how to write an address in informal letter. You write the sender's address on the top right corner of the page. Observe the punctuation marks because if you don't punctuate very well, you will lose half a mark for each error. Now, also note how the capital letters appear at the beginning of every word, okay? Then for the date, remember, I discussed this in the video, informal letter writing, how to write an address. You do not superscript, you do not subscript. They have to be on the same line, okay? Now, the second address comes below the sender's address on the left, and it contains the title of the recipient, where the recipient is holding that title, and the area. So you start with the title, the chairman, the board of governors. If you look at the question here, this person is the chairman of the board of governors, so you have to differentiate his title and the association is holding that position. So the chairman, board of governors, then Calat Loyola Secondary School, the school where the person is serving as the chairman, then the area, Olodia Papa You do not need to include date here in the second address, okay? Then after that, your salutation, dear sir. Do not use dear father, do not use dear mother. Even if the chairman is your father or your mother, you address the person by his title, not by his name, okay? So dear sir, dear madam, please do not use dear ma, okay? If you don't know the gender of the recipient, you can use dear sir or madam, but please do not use dear ma. After the salutation, then comes the title. The title must be centralized. It can be written in capital block like this, or in sentence case like this. When writing in sentence case, make sure the prepositions are in small letters, like of and in. When you write in sentence case, please underline. But if you're writing in capital block, you do not need to underline. In the first paragraph, there is no need for pleasantries. Just state in the first paragraph why you are writing the letter. Why you're writing the letter has already been captured in the title here. But from the first paragraph, or in the first paragraph, you start explaining why you're writing the letter. I hope this letter finds you well. Due to the poorly equipped library in our school, I am writing to seek your support in the provision of a new library with e-learning facilities. In our world today, no school can do without a well-equipped library. In the body, you now add flesh. You now start explaining. You now start explaining why you need a library with e-learning facilities. Then in the conclusion, which is the last paragraph of the letter, you review why you're writing the letter and what you hope to achieve. Students need well-equipped library to compete with their colleagues around the world. I hope you will use your good office to convince the other members to support the provision of a library in our great school. You see, here, you reviewed why you're writing the letter to get a new library, then what you hope to achieve. You hope this man would provide the library for you. You hope the chairman would provide the library for you. Then after that, the subscription. Please do not use yours sincerely, or WAEC will penalize you for that. Do not use yours lovely. Stick with this, yours faithfully. And note how it is written. The F must be in small letters. Then after the yours faithfully, make sure you apply your comma. After that, make sure you append your signature, okay? After your signature, write your full name, 2 names, no nicknames, no sobriquets, just your full name. Then if you have a title, like you have a position you're holding in the school or in any association, you can attach it just below your name. For example, Vincent AK is the name of the writer. The title is holding is the head boy. So you can include your title after your name. It is permitted, okay? Now, let's recap. The sender's address, top right corner of the page. The second address just below it on the left. Address the title, not the person's name, okay? Dear sir, dear madam, your excellency, Mr. Chairman, okay? Then write your title. The title summarizes what the letter is all about. Reading the title alone, you have an idea of the content. Provision of library in Kalak Loyola Secondary School. So you have an idea. You can write in sentence case. And please, if you're writing in sentence case, make sure the prepositions are in small letters. If you're writing a sentence case also, make sure you underline. First paragraph, you state why you're writing the letter. Okay? The body, you add flesh. You start stating the benefits of having a library with e-learning facilities. The closing paragraph is the last paragraph of the letter. Here, you review what you've said in the first paragraph and you state what you hope to achieve. In your subscription, stick with yours faithfully, append your signature, write your two names, and include your title if you have one. If you do not, no problem. Thank you very much. I hope you follow these rules strictly, because for every error you make, WAEC will deduct half a mark. Thank you very much. As I wish you the best in your WAEC examinations.